There ain't nothing like a good old monster movie. The Ritual stars Rafe Spall, Archer Ali, and is directed by David Bruckner. What's up, guys? It's time for another Netflix horror review. I think Netflix has done some great things lately. They're putting out quality TV programming, quality movies. Recently I saw The Open House. Everybody hated that movie except me, I think. Me and maybe one other guy. But The Ritual was one that I gotta give a quick shout out to Jason Smith on Killer Flicks. Me and him chat from time to time, and he said, "Have you seen The Ritual yet? It's fantastic." And I definitely trust Jason's opinion, so I thought, yeah, I'll check this out. So I checked it out. You're right, Jason. This was great. Loved it. So good that I think it should have came to the theaters. But it is, I guess, a foreign film. Not really a foreign film. I mean, most of the actors in it are not American, though. You know, and you see a lot of that type of content on Netflix. It's just another great avenue for smaller movies to get seen by their audience. The Ritual is a good old monster movie. I love monster movies. And before I get into this review, after the rating, I'm going to talk a little bit of spoiler stuff. So up until the rating, though, you're fine. This is one of those movies where you have this group of people, and they end up going in the woods. And really, these guys, they're all just friends with each other. At the beginning of the movie, there is a tragedy that happens. Two of the guys, they're actually in this liquor store, and there's this robbery going on. And then one of the guys has to sit there and watch his friend get killed. And he has a situation. He can actually stop this. He actually even has like a bottle in his hand. So he could step in and he could try to protect his friend, but instead he cowers, and now he's got to live with that. He's got to live with the death of his friend for the rest of his life. And his friend was, you know, married, had a family, so it eats up at him. So 6 months later, him and the rest of the group, they decide, hey, let's honor this guy. Let's go and kind of, I guess, build a shrine for him just to pay respects. And they decide to go to the mountains of Sweden. But they decide to take a shortcut through the woods, which is a horrible idea, as we all know. And once they get into the woods, then it gets pretty crazy and pretty awesome. So first off, let's talk about what I loved about this movie. Now, if you remember the movie The Witch that came out a couple years ago, a small portion of that movie actually took place in the woods, and I thought that was probably the creepiest parts of the movie. I just love movies that like take place in the woods, and cinematically, the cinematography in this is just beautiful. There's a lot of really eerie scenes where you got some slow zoom ins, and the trees themselves just look like characters. It's just really creepy. And throughout the movie, you barely see the monster, or is it a monster in the movie? We'll talk about that after the rating. But I'll say whatever it is, it's chilling as hell. And it's definitely satisfying. There's a key word for you, satisfying. Without getting into spoiler territory, if you remember the movie It Comes at Night, which I loved, by the way, a lot of people did not like that movie because of what it was. Those people would probably love this movie. And that's all I'm gonna say. But the great thing about this movie is the relationship between the characters, especially the main character, Luke, played by Rafe Spall. This character is just constantly tortured in his own mind because of the death of his friend. And this is something that creeps up psychologically throughout the movie. And when you mix that with the witchcraft that's in this movie, and then you can get into some pretty psychologically terrifying things. And a lot of times you don't know if it's real or if it's not real. But it's so like interesting and engaging. Also, once that paranoia sets in, this group of guys, they start, turning on each other. They start getting at each other's throats. This portion of the movie reminded me of The Thing and The Descent. It's kind of the opposite of The Descent because it's all guys instead of all girls. But it's equally terrifying. Some might say even more terrifying because in The Descent you knew what was out there. Whereas in this one, for a great while, you don't know what's out there. So it's just constantly not only playing with their mind, but it's playing with your mind as well. Now, as far as any cons, not really a con, but there is one scene where I thought the main character should have fully went for it emotionally. And I think you'll know what I'm talking about once you get to that scene. And it's serviceably done. It reminded me of the scene at the end of The Descent where Sarah just completely loses it. And I wanted that to happen to this character. And so I think if that would have happened, this would have made this movie like just freaking legendary, like perfect. But still overall, it's fantastic. I'm gonna give it a high purchase worthy. And I didn't expect that. I thought this was gonna be like maybe just an okay movie. But no, this is one that I definitely wanna watch again. It was really good. I would buy this on Blu-ray if it came out. Now, let's talk about the spoilers real quick. First off, that monster. Talk about satisfying. Like, I didn't think we were gonna see the monster, but no, you see it like fully. And it's creepy as hell looking. It looks like it's 15 feet tall. And you know, in this day and age, we constantly get these monster movies, or quote unquote monster movies, where we don't really see the monster that much. Even the movie The Monster, they show you one little quick glimpse of it. And this, I mean, once it's out, it's really out and it's fully on display, and I loved it. And then they give you a little bit of the backstory. It's kind of like a descendant of Loki, or a bastard son of Loki or whatever. And so you got that like Norse mythology mixed in with it, which made me more interested in it. And I would love to see like another movie based solely on that monster and where it comes from. And this tribe of people are like worshiping the monster and offering up sacrifices. And by the way, those sacrifices were bloody as hell, which was carnage candy for me. Awesome. But this movie was fantastic. So definitely check this out if you haven't. I promise you'll love it. And it's just a good old monster movie, a lot of fun. So anyway guys, what are your thoughts on The Ritual? Looking forward to hearing them. Also be sure you come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day, and on Fridays we do Free For All Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. If you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Drumdum out.